final episode of Harp at Home with Rachel here, the final episode from Series 2. Wow, I can't believe we are on our 8th workshop of Series 2, which means if I do my calculations, it's our 17th workshop of Harp at Home so far. Thank you so much for joining me. It's just been great to get all your messages over the past couple of months when I've been doing this second series. It's really comforting to know that people are enjoying playing my tunes and it's bringing them joy having these new pieces of music to work on in what has been a kind of a bit of a crazy 2020, I'm sure you'll agree. So it's the last workshop. I am going to be taking a little bit of break. We're going to come back in January 2020. Okay, there is lots of stuff going on. However, in the next few months, I'm going to talk about that in the Blether section. Most importantly though, something that I'd all love you to come along to, on Friday night at 8 PM UK time, myself and Ron are doing a special Zoom concert for Furnace Tradition. You can get your tickets at the link that is in the comments. It would be wonderful if you could come along to that. We have no idea how many folk are going to show up, so it would just be nice to have some kind of nice harpy people on the call as well. And of course you'll be able to chat to us and send us questions during the interval, so please do consider coming along to that. Of course, remember, make sure that you are signed up to the mailing list for Harp at Home. You can do that at harpathome.com. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/harp at home, and click the wee subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. Just so that I can reach out to you when the third series comes round in January, because I'd love to share my tunes again with you. So today, what are we going to do? We have our workshop, of course, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking to you about, I guess, because we're having a bit of a break for a couple of months, I wanted to kind of take you a few kind of wee ideas and things that I've put together to help you with your practice while we're not having regular workshops. So yeah, let's have a wee talk about that. So this is a little guide on, I guess, kind of giving you a little bit of a hand on how to practice all the tunes that we've been doing so far at Harp at Home, Series 1 and Series 2. So yeah, we're gonna move around the room a little bit in this guide. But if you've got your PDF, you will have got the kind of like details. I've kind of bullet pointed all of these things that I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, just wanted to help you on your way on how to kind of revise and choose which tunes to play. So we have done a lot of tunes at Harp at Home. I think in total after today's workshop we'll have done 17 tunes. That is a lot of tunes, okay? So you don't, obviously, it's a lot of tunes to practice all at once. So I would recommend, if you're wanting to kind of concentrate on a few, just pick a few. Don't just pick one, because you'll find if you pick one and if you get frustrated, you might get burnt out from continuously trying to play it. I'd advise maybe picking 2 or maybe ideally 3 to work on. Have a look at the list of tunes on harpathome.com. You can now download a kind of like index and a cover for each series, which will give you the list of tunes. It will tell you where they're coming from, the speed, the key, and kind of a difficulty scale. I've kind of marked it out of 5 and hopefully I've kind of marked this well. And choose tunes of varying difficulty. You know, choose one that you know that you are going to have a lot of satisfaction learning because you maybe really enjoy it, or you kind of managed to find it quite easy when you were following the workshop. Choose one that needs a lot more work, that will challenge you, okay? And maybe choose one that's maybe out of your comfort zone, which you perhaps weren't that keen on, but you think that maybe you will eventually get keen on, or maybe it's a tune that has a kind of curious rhythm that you've not tried out before, or a technique that you've not used before. So yeah, think about all these things when you're choosing your tunes. Now, let's talk about where you practice. So, practice environment. You need to make sure that you're practicing somewhere where you're comfortable. This is my kind of favourite kind of practice place. It's actually at the opposite end of the room where I record all my workshops. So you've seen the fireplace, the fireplace is to my left just now, and the green screen is behind us there. So when I'm practicing, I tend to practice on this sofa. It's a good height for me for practicing on, and I tend to use these kind of cushions as well just to kind of support my back a little bit. I have my music stand here. I have a little table where I'll put my laptop if I'm using my laptop. A lot of the time when I'm practicing, I'm actually arranging, so I'll be writing out music I have my water. I have a wee table here that I can put a cup of tea on as well. It used to be a harp stool actually. And I just have everything round about me. So it's really kind of important for you to have a good practice environment where you're happy. So make sure, of course, you have your harp ready and you have it tuned. Okay, I've got my electric tuner here. And I guess, yeah, you need to warm up when you play. I think a lot of us kind of tend to, especially when we're kind of doing like faster tunes and stuff like that, we go right into playing them. It's really important to warm up. You would never go and run a marathon or run a sprint without warming up. So make sure you do that. You don't have to do anything fancy. I might do kind of scales or something. Triads even. Big arpeggios. If you're unsure what to do, play some of the tunes that you know really well. Anything to get your hands going. A nice kind of slow thing to really kind of so that you can pull your fingers and just feel the stretch of your fingers and start to warm up before you play so that you'll be ready, yeah, to kind of go for it. So once you've found your kind of good happy place to practice, then you might want to decide that you want to look at the workshops again. So remember, as I've kind of been going on in a lot of these workshops, use the pause, rewind, and the YouTube slow down function as well. Okay, so if you remember as well, each workshop, if you're trying to decide which one you want to do and you can't remember which tune you want to play, you can look back to harpathome.com. All the workshops are there. You might have to scroll through each workshop to find the actual kind of playthrough. A big super tip though is to go to the Facebook page because all the tunes have been previewed here. So that's facebook.com/harp@home, okay? And you'll be able to watch them there, okay? Remember, when I'm teaching the workshops, I teach right hand first and then the left hand, okay? If I was learning a tune in real life, especially one to do one off by heart, I would always spend lots of time learning the right hand first, okay? The workshops, I guess, are a kind of forced environment to at least get you playing the right hand and have an understanding of the left hand, if you know what I mean. I would encourage you to spend lots of time practicing the right hand, okay? Really get the fingering strong, get it flowing, okay? My aim when I'm practicing is I want to be able to play a tune so that it's in my muscle memory, so I don't have to think about it. Okay, so things like fingering, I take lots of time of making sure that I'm following that so it flows and it eventually kind of sinks into not only my mind but the muscles of my hands, okay? Also, if you're following the music, I make a lot of markings when I'm learning tunes. I'll kind of draw brackets over the fingerings. I haven't done that on the worksheets for you because it can get a little bit fiddly, to be honest, for me to do. It can look a little bit untidy, but draw brackets, draw lines for where the kind of phrases end, circle particular challenging parts that you need to look out for. This is a kind of example of my kind of sheets that I tend to teach from. So yeah, you might find that useful. When you eventually get round to putting the left hand together, take it bit by bit. You don't have to do all the left hand at once. If you remember back to a few of my workshops, and in fact the one that we're going to be doing today, you don't have to do all the left hand notes. You might find that you only want to do the first 3 of the chord if it's a big chord, or you maybe decide to kind of do like the first note in each bar or measure to kind of get yourself going, just so that you're managing to get something in there so that you have that satisfaction of being able to kind of hear where it's going. Do you know what I mean? It's a good tip, something to consider. What else do I do when I practice? I use my phone a lot actually. I'll record voice memos to listen back to how my practicing is going. I'll do that a lot, particularly when I'm arranging and composing. I use all like the voice memo thing. Remember to name your voice memos, or otherwise you'll get very mixed up about what is what. And I guess it's always a question about how long to practice. I wish I could say I practice solidly for 4 hours every day, but although I'm playing harp every day, sometimes I don't have time to practice for me. I think it's better when you're starting to play in things. I think it's better to try and play often. regularly for short amounts of time instead of opposed to having one giant big practice. That can work for some people, but I tend to, certainly my own students, I advise them to practice regularly for shorter amount of times. When I do big practices, like I'm going to do a lot of practice this week for the concert that's coming up on Friday, I'll tend to sit down. I find it beneficial actually to do kind of a couple of hours every day, but I will take breaks within those. I tend to find that I can work for around 45-50 minutes before I need to take a break. And that break might just be kind of going out of the room, getting a cup of tea or something like that. Just a quick 5-10 minute break to kind of, yeah, refresh the mind and kind of give the eyes a different view as well. I think I'm finding that more than ever, that my eyes need to stretch, I think, because a lot of my work is now online. So yeah, consider or make sure that you definitely do take breaks when you're practicing. So I've put together some resources for you. As I told you already, you can download kind of cover pages for both series. I've also put together a tune chart, and this is to help you put tunes in sets. So we've done, as I said earlier, we have done 17 tunes, okay? We've done tunes of varying types, and we've got jigs and reels, and it's just space, airs, etc. A lot of the tune times, particularly with the faster tunes, the dance tunes, you would normally put them together in sets. So you might put 2 jigs together, a strathspey with a reel, maybe a march, a strathspey and a reel together, and you would play each tune several times, maybe 2 or 3 times before moving on. So I'd really love you to try to put these tunes into sets now. Now there's kind of some which kind of work better than others. To help you out, I've put together this chart which you can download at harpathome.com, okay? And it's going to give you which tunes to pair up with which, and it will tell you which levers you need to put on for each, okay? Because some of them will be in different keys. I'm going to help you out a little bit. I'm doing I've done the hard work for you, okay? I'm telling you which levers to change between the tunes, okay? It's always a little bit of a challenge trying to work this out. It's really good if you can work it out yourself, because you will soon realise that if, for example, you're playing a tune that's maybe in D major and it goes into A major, you might not need to change all your G naturals to G sharps to get into A major, because you'll find that the tune only maybe uses 1 G sharp. So I've done that hard work for you, okay? Total giving you a bit of a break here, and I've written out on the tune set chart which levers need to be changed where. So if you've been practicing your tunes hard, I want to challenge you. I want to hear you play these Harp at Home tunes, okay? It makes me so happy to hear people play my arrangements and to see them having as much joy as these tunes bring me when I play them and when I get to teach them. So if you're up for it, please do film yourself playing the Harp at Home tunes, okay? Put them on YouTube or Facebook. Be sure to tag me, okay? And if you could just put in the comments, perhaps like directing people to Harp at Home in case they want to learn the tunes as well. But I would love to hear you perform the tunes. So if you're up for doing that, great. So I hope those resources and that wee kind of chit chat there will be useful for you. All those things that I was talking to you, the downloads, the tune set chart, the front covers and the index are now live at harpathome.com. So do go along and check those out. They're all free to download those bits and pieces. I've also managed to put up the full series 1 and the full series 2 as giant PDFs for purchase. So if you've not been purchasing the PDFs at all, but you would like to purchase them all, that will save you having to individually buy them and add them to the basket if you just buy that complete PDF. So yeah, but on with today's tune. I'm going to go a little bit easier for you today. I've kind of been pushing you, I feel, in the past few weeks. I'm going to teach you a beautiful slow air, or a slow Gaelic song as I know it. It's called Bidh Clann Ulaidh, and it's a Gaelic song, I guess, that I've kind of always known about. I must have come across it when I was younger. It translates as the Ulster Men, and it's a lullaby. And it's a lullaby when the singer, I'm assuming it's the mother, could have been the father, was singing to the baby and talking about his wedding in the future. And they're talking about how his wedding will have just the best guests. So it will have the sons of Ulster, the men of Ulster, there. The king's children will all be there, and the heads, the clans, Macaulay clan, MacDonald clan, Mackenzie will all be there as well. They'll be dancing, they'll be playing the pipes, they'll be drinking, having a fantastic time, because weddings back then, I guess they kind of are like this nowadays too, but they were kind of a way of showing off how much money you've got and how good you are. I guess some folks still do that nowadays. So yeah, it's just kind of talking about their hopes, I guess, for their child. But it's a beautiful song. I've put in some links to some people playing it. I particularly love the playing of Tony McManus's. Tony McManus is a guitar player based out in Canada now, and he has a beautiful acoustic guitar version of this. It's just stunning. But I'm also going to link you into the singing of Rachel Walker. Rachel I've known for very many years. We used to go to Fraser Shaw together, and I think I used to get harp lessons with her little sister even, I think. Yeah, thinking back to it. But she's a wonderful Gaelic singer, and she recorded this during lockdown, and it's a beautiful version. So I really do advise that you check that out. But for just now, I'll give you a play of it. So there you go, Bidh Clann Ulaidh. Yeah, it's our final tune. I hope you'll enjoy learning it. It really is a kind of quite a haunting one. Beautiful lullaby. Remember, after the workshop, come back for the final blether section. I've got lots to tell you. But for the final time for this series, let's head over to the green screen. Hello, and we're back at the green screen for the final time in this series to learn this beautiful Gaelic song and air, Bidh Clann Ulaidh. Yeah, as I said, it's one that I've kind of known of for a long time, and it's been on my mind to teach you guys it. So I hope you enjoyed listening to it there at the fireplace. We'll give a go as usual at learning the melody first, and then we'll progress to the left hand. So first off, let's get our levers in gear. This tune is in B natural minor, which is the relative minor to D major. So that means you need to put your harp into D major levers, which means you have F sharps and C sharps. My harp is tuned to E flat major, so therefore I have E, A, B, F and C levers on. Okay, if your harp is tuned to C major, you will just have your F and your C sharp levers on. So yeah, you can check we're definitely in the right key by playing from D to D. If it sounds happy, you're in business. But remember, this tune is in B minor, so it will sound nice and mysterious. So Bidh Clann Ulaidh, or Ulaidh, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to play you the first part, and then we'll have a go at learning the melody for that. Have a listen. Okay, so we're gonna learn it with quite strict timing for just now, so we can play it together. But when you're playing it as an actual kind of performance, I'd encourage you to give it a little bit of space, especially if, well, the left hand I'm going to teach you just now is going to be the flowing left hand, the harder of the two versions of the PDF. But the easier version I'd encourage you to look at as well. It has kind of block chords, and it's a really nice idea to play that version first, but give it lots of space before having the contrast of going on to the more flowing version. So yeah, we're going to learn it quite strictly. The tune is written out in 6/8. I'm actually going to count the 3, so I'm going to be counting those quavers, the 8th beats. So I'm going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 all the time, just to give you a heads up. Okay, I'm not counting to 6. I'm going to count in groups of 3s. Okay, so first of all, our right hand, third finger on F, second on A, and thumb on B. Have a listen to our first little phrase. Our first little pattern, I should say. Okay, this is the start of the first phrase, and it's actually going to be the start of the first, second, and third phrase. It's one of these tunes with lots of repetition. A nice one for the final tune of this series. So, third finger on the F sharp, second on A, and thumb on B. Have a listen to what's happening. We're going to play up those and add an E on at the end. So we've got F, A, B. We're going to go F, A, move your third finger to the E as you're playing your B. Okay, have a listen to the timing for that. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's try it together. I'm going to count to 3 as you're counting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. I'll count to 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Good. We're going to stay down by that E, except we're going to put our second there and our third onto the D. Our thumb's going to get ready to play the F in a second once I play my E. I'm going to play the E, then a D, put my thumb onto F and play F, E. So that's 4 notes. Second and E, third and D, E, D, move your thumb to F, and then we're going to do your second and E, F, E. Let's try it together after 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go for it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so our first phrase then. Okay, it's got those 2 patterns put together, and our first phrase goes like this. Okay, let's see if we can play that together. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. One more time. Always good to do. Keep repeating things. You know the score of these workshops by now, I'm sure. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's our first phrase. Our second phrase starts off with the same 4 notes. So we're going up F, A, B, and then the E again. So let's try that together. 1, 2, 3. F, A, B, E. So exactly the same. Starts off the same way. But the kind of second half of the second phrase, have a listen to it first. We have our thumb on B and our second on A. Okay, we're going to play the B and the A, then cross over to our thumb, and we're going to, thumbs on F, and we're going to go down 3 from F. This is the rhythm of that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, one more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Good. So you might have noticed, what note haven't we played so far? We worked it out, we missed it out there in the bits going down. There's no G's in this tune, okay? So there's no G's in the melody of this tune at all. So stay away from the G's. There's been a few tunes when we've had no G's. This is one of them again, okay? We will be playing them a little bit in the left hand at times, but for the melody, we're staying away from it. So that second phrase. diverting your attention there. Have a listen. Then B, remember no G, so you cross over and down from F. Okay, let's try that together. After V, this is our second phrase. 1, 2, 3. Good, excellent. So we have our first phrase, we have our second phrase. Guess what? This tune's a nice friendly one with our structure. Our third phrase is the same as the first. So remember, just to remind you of your first phrase, we went up, we started off F, A, B, E. And then we moved to second on E, third on D, E, D, F, E. Okay, let's try that third phrase together. Are you ready? So it's the same as our first. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Okay, so we've done our first, second, and third phrase. Let's go for them all together. Then we're going to be on to our ending phrase already of the first part. So it's good learning. After 3. 1, 2, 3. E, D, and F, E. Starts off the same way, F, A, B. Come down from the B now. Cross over to F, E, D. Good, third phrase, same as the first. Excellent. Okay, our final phrase, have a listen. We're going to use our fourth finger here. This is the only point, I think, where we use our fourth finger in the melody here. So, this shape, I guess, in my head, I'm thinking it's like an F triad with my fourth finger on the E. So, we're going to get really technical, it's like an F7 third inversion. But fourth finger on E, third on F, second on A, and thumb on C. Do you see that shape there? Okay, that's how I'm remembering it. Okay, I am sure as you really realised I like to look for shapes in my playing. So have a listen to the rhythm of that. After, I'm going to add on a B with my second finger. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2. Let's try it together. See if we can get that up that shape, and then adding a B on with our second finger once you've played up to the C. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's go for it again. Place on E, F, A, C. 1, 2, 3. Good. Next bit, thumb on A, third and D. So it's, I guess it's a gap of, it's like an A, D fifth. So we're going to go A, D. And finish off with F, E. So A, D, F, E. Let's try those. So it's third, thumb on A, third on F, third on D, third on D, thumb on F, and then second on E. After 3, let's try that little section. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. F, E. Good. Reset. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's add on the whole. Let's play the whole of that ending phrase. So it's that F triad with the added E at the start and the B at the end. After 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. One more time. Reset. 1, 2, 3. Okay, excellent. Okay, so that's all of the first part. Remember, pause, rewind, slow down if you want to look at it again. Let's see if we can go from the start. Remember, first phrase was F, A, B, E, and then E, D, F, E. F, A, B again, and then so on. Okay, you can do it. Okay, you ready? After 3, F, A, B, E. 1, 2, 3. E, D. B, A. Crossover, remember no G. for it again. You ready after 3? 1, 2, 3. Just one thing to watch out for is that second phrase. I think I just played the rhythm a little bit wrong there, so it goes the last 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, watch out for that. That's one bit that I need to watch out for myself. So on to the second part. I'm going to play it through to you. I've got a little bit kind of I've got a little bit kind of chord stuff going on the right hand if you can get it as well. Have a listen. Okay, so we're going to be up higher for this part, okay? It's kind of sounding a little bit more major, this section, and the left hand that I've done will kind of reflect that. So, second on D, third on C, okay? We're going to play our D, and then I want you to place on up C, D, E. But before you play your E, put on an A triad and see if you can get an A triad rippled. If you don't want to try that, just play a single E. Okay, so we're not placing our thumb on yet because it'll feel a little bit strange. We're going to play our D, then place on all 3 up. Try and get that A triad. 1, 2, 3, and 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Try it together after 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that little bit is our new kind of little starting phrase for the first 3 phrases. Okay, so that's how these 3 phrases are going to start off with. Good. For our first phrase, we're going to go up 3 from A to C. Have a listen. So we're going to play up, A, B, C. Then we're going to play our C again and add on a B at the end. So it's going 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Let's try it together. Up, and then another C and B. So you end up with 2 thumbs there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Nice. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Let's add on the little bit before, remember? Okay, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Up from A. C, B. Good. One more time for good luck, and then we'll look at the next bit. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Good. Second phrase, guess how it starts off? Exactly the same. Okay, after that though, we're going to hop our thumb and our second down. So our second's going to be an E, and our thumb's going to be an F, and it's going to go E, E, F, E. So a long E for 2 beats. 1, 2, another E, F, E. Good, let's try it together. 1, 2, 3. E, 2, 3, F, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. That's our second phrase, okay? 2 E's, an F and an E. Let's add on the little starting bit that we need to add on. That section, yeah? After 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. E now. 2, 3. 2, 3 E's. F, E. Good. Okay, so we've done our first phrase, second phrase, third phrase. Yes, it's the same as the first. So it's gonna go. Then up from the A. C, B. Let's try that together. This is our third phrase, okay? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Good. One more time for good luck. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2. Excellent. Okay, so let's try phrases 1, 2, and 3 from that second part. Are you ready? So we're going to do that little bit that we just played again. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. A, B, C, B. And 2, 3 E's. F, E. And third phrase, same as the first. 2, 3. Brilliant. Ending phrase, okay? It is a different ending phrase to what you have for your first part, okay? But remember, we're not playing G's. Use that as a kind of standpoint to help you remember. B, A, F, so you're missing out that G. Okay, so we're going down B, A, F, and playing the A again at the end. Have a listen to the count. I'll count it in, and I'll count it as well. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or sorry, wait, what is that? There we go. Sorry, guys. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's try it together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Now we're going to go B, A, F, E. So you could do that 4 if you want in a row. I'm going to do it 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, F, E. So B, A, missing out that G. 2, 3, F, E. Yeah? Let's try that ending phrase. Remember, no G. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2. Then back onto B. B, 2, A, F, E. Cool. Okay, that's all of our second part. Done all the melody. It's good fast learning today. So remember, you've got your D up 3 from C, then the A triad, up 3 from A. There's 2 thumbs because of the 2 C's there. And then E, E, F, E. And then it's third phrase, same as the first. And then your ending phrase. Okay. Let's try all of that second part, and then yeah, we'll stop, we'll reset, and we'll go for the full tune after 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, up from A. 2, 3. Starts off the same way. 2, 3. E, E, F, E. Nice. 2, 3, up from A. Good, down B, A, F. The A at the end. And B, A. Okay, cool. Let's go for from the start of the tune, yeah? F, A, B, E, remember, is how your first phrases started off, or your first part phrases. And then F, A, B, E, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Third phrase, same as the first. 4 on, which is your F triad with the E in the bottom, and then B at the end. A, D, F, E. Remember for that part. Okay, pause, rewind, slow down if you need to. Remember the kind of golden rules of harp at home when you're learning. Yeah, let's try going for the full tune, okay? You don't repeat it because it's a song. It's like we're doing the verse and the chorus. Yeah? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Down from B, no G's, remember? Second part up top. Okay, cool. Hopefully that went good. I'm going to play you the first part with the left hand. The left hand for this, I'm going to teach you the kind of harder version, which is a more flowing version. But I'd encourage you to have a go at the easier version, which is kind of brushed chords. You can play them as 1/5/8. You could even do them as triads if you wanted, however you see fit. But I'm going to take you through this kind of harder version. I'm going to try and remember to teach you the intro as well at the end, okay? But we're just going to play you for just now how the first part sits with it. So we are mainly using 1/5/8 patterns. Okay, so remember 1/5/8, a B 1/5/8 is how we're starting off. It's the first degree of that note 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth note up, 6, 7, and the 8th note. So a B 1/5/8 is your B, F, B. It's kind of an open chord, a fifth chord. We're starting off with that. Okay, and we're going to fall back. So this is the kind of first version that we're going to be doing. Up a B 1/5/8, and playing the middle note again. So up. That's going to fit in with our F and our A. So it's going to go F, A. So it's going to come, the B's are going to match up with the right hand. So with the F is with the B, and then the A is with the B. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. Now our next bit of our right hand is B, E. With that, we're going to have a 1/5/8 extended, an E 1/5/8 extended. So we're an E, B, E, and I call these extended chords because I'm going to cross 2, 1 under, and I'm going to add an extra 2 notes on. That's just my own kind of name for that chord, an E extended chord, adding the second, or I guess it's, the second and the third degree of the E chord on. E, B, E, cross second and thumb under to F and G. And that's going to match up again. The E's are going to match up with the right hand. So 1, 2. I'm going to count to 3 and we'll have a go at that. 2, 3. 1, 2. Let's go for it again. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay, so far then we have the B falling back on itself and then the E extended. Let's try all of the first part, and I want you to add that in if you can. Okay, if that is too much, just play up the B chord and just up the E chord. Okay, again, the E's will match up with the right hand and the B's will match up with the right hand. Let's try all of the first part, and we'll add that in at the start of the first phrase, second phrase, and third phrase. Good practices. 1, 2, 3. Falling back on yourself. E extended. Nothing yet. again. Off we go again. And actually, let's just stop there because we don't know the left hand for the next bit. Okay, so that's a little bit. So now we've got to do the kind of left hand for the extra bits that are on the first, second and third phrase. So we've had... Okay, you will be relieved to hear for this bit, we're going to use the same left hand. So we're going to have the B falling back on itself and the E extended. Watch out for this B falling back on itself though, because the rhythm of the right hand has changed, so we need to match it up differently with the left hand. The E and the D are the notes that are going to go with this chord. It's going to go with the first note and with the last note. So it's going to be with the first B and then with the F, the D and the F together. So 1, 2, and excellent. And now your E extended is with your F and E, and that's going to match up with the E's as it did beforehand. So that works rhythmically in the same way. Let's try that B chord and the E chord with that part. E, D, F, E. 1, 2, 3. Good. Reset, we'll go again. 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's try all of that first phrase in with the left hand. And then we'll play on to the next bit because you know the next bit already. 1, 2, 3. E extended. Sorry. B chord. E extended. Nice one. Next bit, you know. Same way. Okay, we're going to have something a little bit different here. I'm going to play it to you first. Okay, we're going to have a G extended. And then we're going to brush an A chord, an A158. So this is us going into the major now. A, E, A. So G extended, G, D, G, cross second under and thumb under to the A and B, then right beside it an A chord. Okay, so how does that match up? That's our bit of our melody here. Our B and our A, the B is going to match up with the first note of the G extended, the A is going to play with the last note of the A extended, which is a B. Okay, have a listen. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's try it together. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Good, and our A chord is going to come from, we're coming down from the F. 1, 2. Yeah, let's try that a little bit then. G chord and A chord. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay, so that's our second phrase. Okay, we've done our first phrase, we've done our second phrase, third phrase is the same as the first. So we're already 3/4 of the way through with that left hand. Okay, let's see if we can get it all. So B falling back in itself, big E extended. B falling back in itself, big E extended. B falling back in itself, E extended. Then that G chord and A. Third phrase, same as the first. I'm going to shout it out as we're going along. Okay, you ready? Pause, rewind, remember if you need to go back. B falling back in itself, E extended. 1, 2, 3. E extended. B falling back, remember, right hand matches up with the last note there. B, E extended. Moving to the big G chord. A brushed. Third phrase, same as the first. E extended. Nice. Our next bit, remember we have our F triad with the E in the bottom. Okay, have a listen to what's happening here. Okay, so now we're going to have an A extended and an F158 brushed. Okay, so it's kind of similar rhythm to what we had in our second phrase, I guess. Okay, this ends up creating nice kind of fifth harmonies there. Okay, so we're going to have the A158 extended, remember adding the B and the C. So the A bit is going to match up with the E. When we cross under, that's going to create these fifths, well, that fifth and a sixth actually, sorry, my apologies, fifth and then a sixth. The B and the F together, the A and the C together. Now you need to move your left hand up very quickly to grab this F, C, F for the 158 to match with that high C. Okay, that's a little bit tricky, that. Have a go. So A with the E, cross under, B and C with the F and the A, F extended with that high C. Okay, we'll try it together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Now we're on our A, D, F, E. Okay, watch out here. Just need to be careful with our placing, okay? Because we're going to have a D158, and that means that that D that your third finger is going to be playing is going to be used, okay? So you need to keep that third finger out of the way actually until that D is played. So the D, 158, comes with the A. Play the D with the melody by itself. And then with this F, you're going to have an E chord. Again, you've got to keep that second finger off the E because you're using it with your left hand. So there's a wee bit of overlap there. Watch out with your fingering. D in the melody, E chord with the F, and then E in the melody. Let's try it together. 1, 2, 3. And E chord. Good. So, let's see if we can go for the whole first part. Let me see how it goes. Are you ready? B chord. 1, 2, 3. E extended. B chord. E extended. B chord. While always falling back on itself, sorry. G extended. A brushed. B 158. Always falling back. E. B. And E. Big A chord. Harmony, F chord. Watch out for the fingers here. And E. Brilliant. Okay, as usual, pause, rewind if you need to. Have a listen to your second part left hand now. Some major kind of stuff going on here. A nice little pattern in our left hand. Rising chords. So actually let's just work on that first. It's our bass note that's going up. We're going to have a B, a C sharp, a D, and an E. So we're going to have our B. These are all going to be falling back in themselves just now. So we're playing up the B158 chord, playing the F at the end again. So 1, 2, 3. We're now going to have an A chord, but we're going to have the C sharp in the bass to allow that pattern to come up. That means that we need to think about what notes are in the A chord. We have a C sharp, second on A, and thumb in C. So it's quite an unusual kind of sound there. So C, A, C, A. Okay, so B158, falling back on, then A over C. Keep your second finger in the A because actually you're going to have a D158 now. See how that works? Fourth finger's moved up, but we've got some kind of constant notes here as well. So B158, A, and C in the bass, D158, and then we're just going to move up one note and brush the E chord. Yeah, so that's your pattern. D, C, or B, C, D, E from the bass. Remember how your melody goes? So, have listened how this matches up. Okay, so our first little bit of melody is going to go with the D, C, and the D and then the A triad is going to match up with the A, C, E bit, okay, or this A, C, bit, okay? B158 falling back on itself. The D and the C are going to match up with the B's. Then you're going to play the F by itself, play that D by itself, and then you're on to your next chord. So it's together, F by itself, together, left hand, right, together. Let's try it after 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, right, together. Good. The next bit is going to work with the same rhythm. A, B, C, remember? Your D chord. Your first 2 notes are going to match up with the D's. Do that left hand note by itself, the C here by itself. Okay, so together, left, right. 1, 2, 3. Good. With the C, B, that's your E chord. Did you get that? Let's try that again. So first 2 notes match up with the D. Left, right, and then E chord, the C, B. Good. Okay, that might take a little bit of practice, that bit. Pause, practice it round. Okay, B chord, C, A, C. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. Up the D chord, E chord. Next bit starts off exactly the same way. Our left hand is going to be the same, but our right hand has changed. Remember, we're in the E, F, E, D chord. And these match up with the last notes of that D chord. So it's with the first D, the second E comes with the last note, and your E chord is going to match up with the F, E. Again, you've got to watch out for your fingers there. Let's just try it together. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, let's see if we can get all of that line, those 2 phrases. That's our first phrase and second phrase from the second part. You ready? Back to the start of that. B chord. 1, 2, 3. Up the D. E. Back to your B chord. A again. Down to your E in your right hand, sorry. And now the E here. Good. Third phrase, remember, is the same as the first. I'm changing the left hand ever so slightly. Instead of going up that rising pattern, we're going to substitute, instead of that C, A, C, in an actual A chord. Okay, it's just going to kind of stabilize things a little bit. Have a listen to how it changes the sound. Then it's the same. Okay, so let's see if you can just add that in. We'll see how it goes. You ready? So instead of, you're just going to move everything down 1, and that's going to go with the A. Yeah, let's try that third phrase, see if you can do it. Pause and rewind if you need to, okay, or practice it. 1, 2, 3. Nice. As usual, D chord and E chord. Good. Cool. Hopefully you got that. Let's just try it again. Down to the A chord this time. 1, 2, 3. D. Excellent. Okay, let's try phrases 1, 2, and 3 together with that kind of pattern. Up from the B. 1, 2, 3. Normal A chord now. right rhythm sometimes when I kind of isolate my right hand of this tune, dearie me. So left hand for that is going to be a B158 chord falling back on itself, like a lot of our phrases have been. Okay, that's how it's going to match up. We're going to play up the B chord with the whole of that B. This A comes by itself, and the F's come together. 1, 2, and 3. After 3, 2, 3. Nice. With the A, we're going to have a D chord brushed. Let's try that. Let's add that D chord. 1, 2, 3. D. Excellent. For the ending, B, A, F, E. This is actually very similar. Well, it's pretty much it is the same left hand as what we had before. The melody is slightly different though. So G extended matches up on the last note, and then with the F, E, and the A chord. Okay, let's try that. 1, 2, 3. And excellent. Let's try that ending phrase then. B chord and then the D. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Cool. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay, let's go for all of the second part of the left hand. You ready? B, C, C. Yeah? 1, 2, 3. Normal A chord. Big G. Nice. Okay, let's try the whole of the tune, and then I'm just going to tell you quickly what I do as an introduction if I was just playing this bit as an introduction. So B, then your big E extended, floating between that for your first part. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. G extended, then A, nice. E extended, ending big A chord, high F, D, and E. On to that second part, B chord. Normal A. Nice. Okay, cool. So there's a little kind of bit of an introduction there. Have a listen. And then you would go into it. So this is, I guess, if you're kind of playing this version, flowing first, I suggested that you can kind of do it with brush chords for the first time round. That introduction wouldn't really work with that. It might be that you could do the brush chords second time. You could kind of do very flowing and then kind of get really kind of spacey. Play about with how you want to kind of make it work. But that introduction is going up a B chord, then having, if you kind of map on the next notes from the B158, you see how that means that I've got two B158s here. B, F, B, then F, B with my right hand. Gonna play up them, then down with my right hand. So up the B chord, and 3, so it's going 1, 2, 3, 1, same pattern, but I'm going to play up the way, all the way. So 1 and 2, E, F and E chord, B, E. Okay, I'm playing it very robotically there, but obviously give it a little bit of a shape. And I would kind of do a nice kind of roll and slow down before going into it. Okay, cool. So there you go. Let's head back to the fireplace for the final time for this series. I hope you've enjoyed learning this beautiful Gaelic song air. We'll play it together one more time. You can join in with me at the fireplace, and then we'll have our final blether. Let's head back. So it's our last blether section. Wow, I can't believe it. We've made it to the end of series 2. Cheers, good on you guys. Well, you've got your cup of tea, or maybe something stronger. I'm just having a cup of tea just now because I still need to kind of start out getting the PDFs online for you for this workshop, which is what I'm going to hot foot myself through to the living room in a minute and do. Yeah, I hope you've been enjoying the workshops. Huge thank you to you all for tuning in. And particularly thank you to those who've been buying the PDF, because that's really kind of what has been kind of really helping me out in what has been a challenging year with no gigs basically in this 2020. And many of you have been giving little extra donations. Thank you. You guys are totally stars for doing that. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, in the blether section where I just kind of blether on, there has been things happening this week. You might have kind of if you kept your eagle eyes about you, you may have noticed that I decided to add the ability to pre-order the sheet music for Caoidh Sandy from the Fraser Shaw remix project. I decided there's nothing like making yourself do something than opening up a pre-order thing on your website, because it means it will definitely get done. It's so close to being finished now. So if you want to pre-order that, that's £5 on my website. And it's quite an advanced range. It's kind of upper intermediate plus. It's £5 because every penny, bar the pennies that go to PayPal, will go to the Fraser Shaw Trust to help sufferers of MS and to help the development of youngsters, particularly in the islands, for getting access to traditional music and the like. So it's all for good cause. So please do consider pre-ordering that. When you pre-order it, what will happen is I will email you out, the PDF of it next Monday. Okay, so a week today if you're watching this on Monday the 14th or 13th. Can't remember what date this will be going out on. Goodness me, it's been a busy few months, what can I say? I'm finally able to tell you about the recording that I was doing. Remember I said to you that during quarantine I ended up keeping quite busy because I had 3 days of recording. That was good crack. I was recording some Christmas music actually. Now this name will mean nothing to anybody in the UK, Ireland or America, but if you are in Germany or perhaps the Netherlands, maybe Denmark, this name might mean something for you. It was for Angelo Kelly, who's a kind of really big German-Irish pop star over on the continent. I've known Angelo for years. My fiance works with him. My fiance plays bouzouki Irish bouzouki for him in both his own Angelo Kelly and family band, which is him, his wife and all his kids. A wonderful feel-good kind of group. And he also played with the kind of Kelly family, who were the kind of original big pop stars in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, these guys play arenas and stuff, so it was a real joy to be able to add some heart tinklings to their new Christmas album, which is called Coming Home for Christmas. It's out for release on the 27th of November. You should be able to get it, I think, in the UK. Certainly in Germany, you can pre-order it now on Amazon, etc., and Spotify and iTunes and all that. It's a very feel-good Christmas album, I have to say. Like, the tunes all got stuck in my head. There's one song that he's written, which is his kind of Christmas song that the family are singing, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's really, really good. I kind of almost wish like it could be released properly over in the UK, because I think it could be a hit. It will be a hit in Germany, no doubt. So it's quite exciting. We're hoping it goes to #1 in Germany. That would be very cool to be able to say that I've been on a #1 record. But it was, yeah, quite surreal recording Christmas songs, I have to say, in September. But they were very well produced, high kind of level Christmas songs that, yeah, we managed to like record the HARP in our flat during lockdown. It's amazing what you can do when you have to, isn't it? So yeah, check that out if you fancy. What else has been going on that I can tell you about? I recorded a workshop yesterday, a very short little workshop on one of my favourite, or not my favourite O'Carlin tune, O'Carlin tune which I found a connection to, for HARP Ireland. HARP Ireland are having Harp Day this year on the 17th of October. So please do tune into their Facebook page. They have loads of Facebook live things happening. They've got people performing and workshops a lot on O'Carlin music. So do tune in. I'm not sure when I'm going to be on. I'll probably, if I find a schedule, I'll pop it on my own Facebook page for you. So that's coming up on the 17th of October. Of course, that's on Saturday, but the night before, Friday, you know where you guys all have to be. Yes, at the Zoom concert that me and Ron are hosting. Nod your heads. 8 PM on Friday. Got your tickets? Good. Haven't got your tickets? Pause. Go get them now. Sorted? Yep, all good. And so yeah, me and Ron have been rehearsing. We checked out the wee studio space, which we're using for it. It's ideal, perfect for it. So we're loving playing. It's not the old hits, it's just our hits, but they seem old because we haven't been able to play together for 4 months again. Yeah, looking forward to that. So got that coming up. And HARP Seattle, of course, I got my workshop on the 31st of October. Do sign up for that through Dusty Strings, fantastic harp company in America. Yeah, there's loads of harp stuff going on. I mean, I'm stopping these workshops for a couple of months, but you have so much that you can keep going with. There's all the HARP Seattle stuff, if you're out in the US and that's your time zone. There's also 2 harp festivals that are happening this month, around the kind of 24th, 25th October mark. Both Heart on White, which is the harp festival down on the Isle of Wight, right down the south of England, off the south coast, and Achill Harp Festival over in Ireland are both going virtual and online. So both have workshops and concerts. I highly recommend that you check both of them out. Both run by amazing people. So do consider supporting them if you can. In November, Karina Hewitt, fantastic Scottish harp player, is hosting an online harp workshop. I think it's called like Harp in the Highlands Online or something. I will link it in somehow so that you can find out about that. It's got, I think, Karina teaching possibly Sheann Brown and possibly Rachel Newton, BBC Radio 2 Musician of the Year, great lassie. Fellow Rachel who played harp, we were at school together actually, so I really like Rachel, she's a good pal. Yeah, do check that out. So you've got that to kind of keep you going, which is good considering it'll be a few challenging few months. It's strange, isn't it? Like, I thought that by now things might be on the up, but they're kind of gone a little bit backwards here in Scotland, and I know throughout a lot of Europe as well. The Netherlands, where I teach, I know that they're waiting on kind of a big announcement tomorrow night about more restrictions. We are on a circuit break just now. So we live in central Scotland, and the whole of central Scotland, every pub is shut for 16 days, every restaurant is shut for 16 days. Cafes, if they don't serve alcohol and their main thing is small meals, are allowed to open. So yeah, it's kind of like a partial lockdown, I guess. So, and they're advising you don't take public transport. So we don't tend to take a lot of public transport since it's all kicked off anyway, so it doesn't really concern us that. So yeah, kind of gone a little bit backwards. We're just trying our best to get the rates down so that things can happen. We're still not allowed inside concerts, and in fact there's a ban on all outside events now as well, so there's definitely no concerts beyond things being online just now, which I guess means that maybe a lot more folk might tune into mine and Ron's concert on Friday night, you never know. Plus for us perhaps, but not on the whole really. Yeah, so didn't kind of think that we'd be at the start of the series that we'd be back here again, but just go with it, see how it goes. Gonna keep busy in the next few months doing various things. I've got an idea for a kind of new album that I'm thinking about. I've got some other workshops to teach, as you know about, some videos as well. Our overriding thing is that we want to get out to the Isle of Man. We're really desperate for that now. I mean, I normally spend 4 days a month there, and I haven't been there since early March. So that's hard for me, but it's even worse for my fiance, because he's not allowed to go and see his parents and his sister. He has a very small family. He's banned from seeing his family, and that hurts. That really does. And we've got a lot of Manx friends in Glasgow who are in the same position. One actually, his father is very ill, and it's madness. The forms that he had to fill in last night before heading off to the ferry. He couldn't leave before getting the ferry. I mean, that's ridiculous that we have to go through this. So just really hoping that things might brighten up and that we'll be allowed on for Christmas. We're happy to do the quarantine, but we're not even allowed to do that just now. So that's our overriding thing. We want to get out there. Yeah, I want to do there. I'll do some teaching, and then hopefully this album project will get off the ground over in the island. And I might be able to start series 3 from over there. You never know. See what happens. Other things that are happening. We've had to postpone our wedding again. So we were meant to get married on the 30th of October. So that's like in a few weeks' time. Should be like kind of rush off my feet organising a wedding. But then we put it back to February, and we've had to put it back again. So we don't actually know what date yet. We're just gonna wait and see. We're on plan C, which is plan wait and see. That's what I'm calling it. We're feeling fine, to be honest about it. It would be zero fun trying to plan anything just now. And I think it's a lot easier when life isn't normal. So like you don't feel like you're missing out on it because things are so different. Do you know what I mean? I actually think it must be more challenging. My fiance's sister in the Isle of Man was due to get married in the summer, and she postponed because of the situation. And her wedding week because things are normal in the Isle of Man, it would have been a normal week for her there, because there's no social distancing, because there's no COVID. I think it must be actually more challenging for her mindset, because everything is normal there. Everything totally seems normal. So why can't she have her wedding now? But the reason she can't is because she's got lots of family, and her husband to be is from across from the UK. So half their guest list wouldn't be able to be. So I think that must be more challenging, to be honest, to her than it is for us. I mean, we've just had to message folk. We'd done no organising, to be honest. We were like starting to panic at March because we hadn't booked a honeymoon and things. My goodness, we were lucky we hadn't booked a honeymoon. We'd literally just only booked the music, and that was all pals anyway, so it's been very easy to reorganise. So yeah, maybe when I see you guys next in January, might be a little bit clearer about when that is, what's happening. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you about. Thank you so much for joining in again for this series 2, and for buying the PDFs, for donating your money, your kind of little extra tips and stuff. It really definitely has helped. It's just meaning that I can carry, like, I don't have to get another job, and it means I'm going to be able to carry on creating these as well. So January is when I'll be back. I don't know when in January. That is all dependent on the Isle of Man and what's going on here. But I will have some cracking tunes arranged for you by then. I've got some ideas already, always thinking ahead. But enjoy practicing over the next months. Do go to these other harp events. Please do support other musicians, other harpists, by attending their workshops and their festivals. And use those resources that are now uploaded on the website. Yeah. And of course, keep harping, keep healthy, hand sanitizing, hand washing, all that jazz, and I'll see you next